Hi everyone, buenos días o noches, donde quiera que se encuentren. Welcome to another episode of Bailando con los Espíritus. Like always, I'm your host, La Bruja Mayor, and I am here with Freddy.
Freddy, like always, I'm back again. I hope you guys are liking these episodes.
Yeah, so today we're actually gonna be talking about what I told you guys last time, my version of La Llorona. Lloronia.
You're already scared.
Yeah. And then dos cuentos de brujas.
Damn.
Okay. Let's start. So, like last time I told you my version of La Llorona, I honestly don't know who told me this, but either I collected a bunch of small stories and I made it my own, or someone actually told me this. I don't recall. But I grew up with this story. And let's just start. It starts, again, lo mismo. There was this lady that was married to this guy. And then the guy cheated on her. And then she got destroyed pretty much. She was crying. And her toxicity self made her kill sus hijos, and dos también, una niña y un niño, but no los ahogó. Instead, she stabbed them. But it was like she made it such like, ¿cómo te puedo decir? She stabbed them so bad so that the guy, when the guy would come, pudiera mirar blood everywhere in the room. And esa era su venganza.
Damn.
So that's how she killed sus bebés, pretty much. And en aquel entonces no había, era un tipo rancho también, no había policía ni nada de eso. So what they did was porque el esposo vino, and he's like, oh, like, you know, he was just like horrified by the whole scene of the whole thing. And then he called the church, and porque at the moment that she was just so jealous, she was mad, and she just
kind of like angry, furious, like everything, no?
Yeah, like she wasn't thinking straight, and
Nada más se quería desquitar somehow.
Yeah, so then when after a while she realized what had just happened, and so she went a little bit crazy and crying and saying that ¿dónde estaban sus hijos? Even though she killed them, like she said, like, what happened to them and ¿dónde estaban? And so the guy pues la miró toda como in distress, le habló a la iglesia, and so they, like I told you, there wasn't like an asylum for people that have mental problems, or there was not police or anything. It was just them, the town and the church. And so
what town did this take place in, or like where is this legend coming from?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure exactly where it takes place. Por eso no te di details in the beginning.
Location? Okay.
That's what I'm telling you. I think that it was a collection of different small stories, because I do come from a rancho, so like, you know, sometimes stories get mixed.
Yeah.
You are not sure where exactly came
the
from.
Origin of the story.
Yeah. So then, la iglesia vino, se la llevó. They la encadenaron, so they chained her down, and she just started going crazy. Literally, like she went so crazy that people were thinking that she was possessed, because she was like having ¿cómo se llama? Convulsiones and stuff like that, and she was just horrified by the fact that she had lost her kids, porque le habían dicho, oh, like, your kids are dead. Like, she couldn't process it, right? She was like, oh, who killed them? Like, until she kind of started realizing that she had been the one that killed him. They killed the kids. Yeah, so then, en ese entonces, pues, she was desperate. Y se cuenta que she called onto the devil to come and help her. And so she pretty much se le apareció al diablo because she was praying to el diablo para que viniera. And el diablo dijo, well, you know, when you're in distress, supuestamente you start doing that, like, si se te va a aparecer. And so he came and he said, unless you sell your soul to me, I won't give you what you want, type of thing. And all she wanted was her kids back. And so in momento de desesperación, she sold her soul to the diablo, and the diablo pretty much took away the chains. And then he said, oh, your kids are outside, you just go look for them. And so that's when it started, the whole Llorona stuff, where she went outside looking for the kids, crying porque pues they were outside.
Because they were
but they weren't outside.
Right.
Because el diablo is, he tricks you. So they were never outside. So she started looking everywhere for her kids. And that's when it started, like,
like, mis hijos.
Yeah, where are you? Like,
yeah.
And thinking, and then también se dice que, when in the actual legend, dice que si te mira, if you're a little kid, si te mira caminando, she's gonna approach you, and she's gonna try to take you away, right?
Yeah.
That's why you're not supposed to, as a kid, you're not supposed to be outside. But it's because she thinks that you are su hijo, su hija, and because el diablo ya le había dicho que estaban afuera esperando. So for her, it's like, you're outside. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like similar, but it's still different.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish I could tell you where exactly, but I grew up with this story. As a little kid, like, I remember it, like, I was so scared.
Yeah. You guys didn't get told, like, the one with the river and everything, like, how she drowned her kids?
No, pero sí se decía, bueno, for my understanding and how I grew up, sí se decía que ahí en el rancho, cuando llovía, salía ella a buscar a sus hijos. Pero a lo mejor viene de eso, de que, del río, maybe. Yeah, pero también a una tía que tengo, vivía cerca de una noria. Una noria es como, okay, from my understanding, una noria is, again, where they take care of the fields. You know how I was telling you last time about how people have, like, those isolated houses in the middle of the fields, and they're the ones taking care of the big fields. You know, that's how they make their money and stuff like that. And they're the ones that turn on the systems that for irrigation and stuff like that. And sometimes they're not the owners of the fields. They're the ones that take, what's it called? The ones that they take care of the fields.
The fields themselves. Yeah.
So, mi tía, from my mom's side, le dieron ese trabajo a su esposo de cuidar una noria, and it wasn't that far from the rancho, maybe in las afueras, in the outside,
like the outskirts.
Yeah. And she said, porque she was really close to the to one of the main streets, I guess, to go to another rancho, and it's because it's so crazy. They're interconnected. So, like, el rancho donde yo vivía, like, they have the main street that goes all the way to the main town, que es Romita, and then it opens up other streets. Like, our rancho is, like, in the center, and then it opens up other streets that goes to other ranchos, and the other ranchos are in the outside. Like, our rancho is, like, very, it's like the main point. That's why they make the junior high and the clinic. So los otros ranchos, otra gente de otros ranchos vienen a nuestro rancho a hacer sus cosas.
So I guess it's like the center of, like, the whole little town.
Yeah, even though they're different ranchos. Like, they're not our rancho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're probably like 1 or 2 miles away. So, mi tía vivía cerca donde la calle que iba se llama Las Amoles. And, my rancho se llama Cruz de Aguilar. So it was a center y después corría la calle hasta Las Amoles. And then she lived outside of our rancho, but going to that other rancho.
Yeah.
It's so confusing, but I hope that you guys understand. Anyways, ella cuenta que one time that it was raining really, really hard, she heard the voice of, she said that it was not, ¿cómo se dice? No era una mujer, era algo, como si fuera un animal, el grito.
Really?
Yeah, pero era como, así como, ya, no sé si has visto cuando se muere alguien, like they cry so deep that the grito sometimes sounds like an animal scream.
No, I've never experienced that.
Yeah, she said it was really sad, and pues obvio se asustó and she didn't go outside. Right. Yeah. También mi bisabuelita, I got to meet 3 great grandparents. So the grandparent that I told you from my previous story, and then this other one from my mom's side, Imakuka. And she also told a story about how mi bisabuelito went outside in the middle of the night once just to go pee, because you had to go outside. And se escuchó un grito también, and he like fainted because of how terrifying he was. And that he didn't wake up until the next morning.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and he hit his head too. I'm pretty sure he just
knocked himself out with the...
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But that would be like really freaky though. Like, because imagine it's all pitch black too,
Yeah.
And just hearing some like weird random...
I know, imagine.
I would like literally run outside, like.
Yeah, you just go outside to pee, and then you hear the scream, and you're like, oh no. Yeah.
Le corta ahí, me voy a.
Así me voy.
Vámonos aquí.
Yeah. And okay, so now let's switch to the Bruja story. Okay, this story I recently heard it from my tío because I showed him what we were doing here, and he's like, oh, I have this story for you, and I'm like, a ver, go ahead. And I guess my dad told him that story. My dad doesn't even tell me. Anyways, he said that in the main town, if this is really, really old, like, and hace muchísimo tiempo, when our rancho was like barely even growing, like maybe not even 50 people. So that was really, really small. There wasn't streets. It was like, había mucho huizaches. I already told you what huizache is. It's a tree with a bunch of spikes. And then the roads, they weren't really well done. Había muchísimas piedras, muchos hoyos. So it was all crazy, So dice que, y allá en Romita ya estaba, like, everything ya was a little bit better and everything like that. So mucha gente se iba a Romita a trabajar, Y se cuenta que una vez un señor, ya en la mera noche, he asked for a ride for a taxi to take him home. And he lived in that rancho that I told you que se llama Las Amoles. So it's not, they had to go through a rancho, to go over there. And it was raining really hard. And the taxi guy was like, oh no, porque what if I get stuck in there, with my car?
Yeah.
So then the guy was like, hey, like, please take me home. Like, look, I'll pay you extra. I'll pay you double. Come on, just take me home. And then he said, okay, pues, it's extra, it's double. I'll take you home. And so he didn't even like cross the whole, I guess, street, porque pues no estaba lloviendo tan duro que there was just too much mud and drops everywhere. So lo dejó como a medias. And so when he was going back, he was like, ya estaba acomodando y todo para irse. And ya no estaba el señor con él, ya se había ido el otro. And he's like was fixing his mirror and everything. And when he looked through the mirror, or the, what is it called,
not the windshield, the rear mirror.
Yeah, when he looked through the mirror, he saw this woman with red eyes and really big, how can I say, like colmillos, dientes grandotes.
Kind of like your canine teeth.
Yeah, but they were like big, and she was just looking at him, and she was just sitting in the back, and he was so scared. He just kept driving. And she was still there, and he would like go see through the mirror, and estaba ahí todavía. She was still there, and he was just driving, and he's like, no, like he was in disbelief. He was just saying to himself, no mires. And cuando ya llegó a su town, que es Romita, he like turned around to see si estaba ahí la mujer, y ya no estaba, ya se había ido. Pero para él esa mujer era la bruja, y qué quería no se sabe, pero una cosa es que sí, es que he got so sick por el susto. He got so sick that he died like a few days after that.
Really?
Yeah, because he was so scared of what he had seen. Yeah.
Damn.
And this is, according to a bunch of relatives, this is a real story. Like, he would always talk about it. Like, I guess that person like would always talk about it and say like, be careful during that street. Like, don't go in the night. Don't go when it's raining. Like, ahí asustan, ahí espantan. There's something that he said. And this is like, te digo, muchos de mis parientes were the ones that told this story. And it's so crazy, you know, because after that, like, everybody avoided that little section. And then later, cuando ya pasó el tiempo, they actually made the street, pero around there.
So they didn't even want to go through there anymore?
No. So esta calle se quedó así. Yeah. But it's so crazy. Imagínate. It's horrible.
Damn.
Yeah. Y lo único sorprendente de todo eso es que hay un canal que pasa por ahí. ¿Cómo te diría que es un canal? Es donde lleva mucha agua cuando llueve.
Kind of like a river?
Like a creek, pero es big.
Yeah.
Maybe even bigger than a creek. Es que en México, bueno, ahí en el rancho cuando llueve, pero crazy. It literally becomes rivers. Hay otra historia, pero es in the opposite side of that same street. So I'm guessing it's the same bruja or whatever that thing is. So mucha gente also don't want to take that route. It was a shortcut to go to the main town for people, porque antes no estaba una buena calle para irse en un carro. De todos modos tenían carros, nomás tenían caballos. So they would just go in their horses, and then we just tried to take shortcuts to go to the main town. And that was also another street. That street looks really bad. It's just like a row of just full of piedras. And that's why it's better to just go in a caballo. And so in that road, and I remember, this is for sure, yo tenía mucho miedo. I never wanted to go through there porque se contaba mucho que ahí salía una mujer muy hermosa. They say that cuando pasaban muchos de los señores ya borrachos que pasaban por ahí, siempre se les aparecía esta mujer muy hermosa. She was beautiful. She was dressed in white. She was just like super, super beautiful. Her body was beautiful. Her face was beautiful. Her hair was beautiful. Thick, black, beautiful woman. And when these people were like crossing through the shortcut, all drunk and stuff, they're like, oh my god, like, let me give you a ride to your casa or whatever. And she would be like, okay. And then once, you know, cuando she would be hugging them, they would be like, they would turn around to see, you know, how beautiful she was. And they will see that it was this horrible face, this type of monster face, like that. And then she was like, I don't know where she went tampoco, but I know that they got so scared que hasta el caballo ya se asustaba, and he would just run really
They'd
fast.
kind of like run away. You
And
know?
then los tumbaba a veces and los descalabraba. So it's like get a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, by the way, descalabrar is to get a concussion. So you te pegas con una piedra, so te descalabras.
Yeah, yeah.
Because your head is a calavera. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But anyways, yeah.
Damn, that's interesting. I wonder if like that has to do something with like the witch.
Yeah, y se contaba mucho de las brujas allá en México porque, te digo, there's not a lot of houses and it's so random. Sometimes you see like big lights, and I guess that's how the witches are portrayed, as big lights. They start small and then they get big, and as you get closer you actually see this beautiful woman, and then suddenly you see a monster like trying to get to you. Or I honestly, the only thing that I know about witches for sure is that they always look for sangre, puedo decir como sangre bendita, que no esté contaminada. Una seda, for them, contaminar la sangre would be like eating salt or like. So they're more looking for babies than adults. So that's why for me it's like, oh, what were they looking for when they were like trying to get to these adults? Like, what was it? Because not their blood. I mean, for my understanding, they're looking for babies if they're looking for blood, you know? And before, I finish these stories, I actually want to tell you that other story about this, what is it called? About babies. So, una vez mi tía Llorona, nos estaba contando. I remember we were in the little store con una amiga de mi mamá, and we were just eating churros and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she just started telling us the story, and she was not from that rancho. She actually came from this place called El Bajío, which is closer to the big main capital of Guanajuato. So mi tío se la trajo hasta el rancho. Se casaron y se vinieron a vivir al rancho. And so she said that allá en su ranchito de ella contaban que en las noches las brujas venían cuando escuchaban that a baby had been just born, so they would come to try to get the baby and would just drink the blood, because for them that was power. So baby's blood for them was power. And one, because first they were baptized, and two, because their blood was not contaminated with the salt. That's what I was telling you about that. And sometimes they would find babies already dead and with marks on their neck on top of the roofs.
Really?
Yeah. And that's how they would know that a witch came inside and took the baby.
And then just left them on the...
Yeah. So she said that there was a couple times when they would find babies on top of the roofs. Like, ya muertos. That's how they lose their babies. Yeah. And it was so crazy because she also said that all of these people would lock their doors. Like, they had extra locks and stuff like that. And siempre a veces entraban. Unless you had, like, maybe santos or, like, agua bendita. Or you were, like, fast enough to react. Por eso siempre las mamás dormían con sus bebés juntos. So that they could feel if the bruja would come. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know any of these like witches stories like that.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Imagínate, I was a little kid too. I was like growing up listening to this. I was like, oh my god, no.
I mean, at the same time, I feel like it would be kind of like used to scare kids to like listen to their parents, you know.
Pues quién sabe.
I mean, know.
What about the
it's
babies?
Like a legend, you know.
I don't know.
It's like a story, you know, like.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's true or not, but I mean, anything could be like.
Yeah, but let me tell you for sure. The one thing for sure is that a lot of things did happen in El Rancho. Because I told you, not a lot of people live in El Rancho. It's not that, there's not a lot of population in that place. And so there's like so many trees and fields and there's nothing. So si mirábamos algo outside of the ordinary, like for us, it would be like, oh my god, what
There's
is
something
this?
there.
And during that time, that's when I also learned about when I'm talking about the lights, I also learned about the airplanes. Having the flash.
Yeah, the lights.
Yeah. But not even that, porque ni pasaban allí los airplanes. So como íbamos a mirar like big lights, and those lights would start little and then would just come like towards our rancho.
What if those were like aliens?
Ay, pues quién sabe. But we also had that. That's
a different story.
No, like that's something that we never really paid attention. I guess for us it was las brujas, and it's so crazy because a lot of people actually do. ¿Cómo se dice? They do brujería in Mexico. A lot of people actually, that's how they get their money. Mm-hmm. They do brujería. And, cuando escuchas people saying like, que me dio el monito para picar or whatever it is that they do.
The voodoo.
Or like, que vayas a enterrar este monito. I don't know what they do. But in Mexico, you actually do get that for sure. Like I remember one time my tia told me that she went to like a healing mass, and the priest was like cuando agarran dinero, collecting the
limosna.
Yeah. When he got the little basket, sometimes they pray with the basket or whatever. When he got the basket back, he saw a bunch of little things like envolturas, and he started opening them, and it was like hair wrapped and like some bloody wraps and birds feathers, and it was just a mixture of many things like dirt, and then he looked at that and he actually said, whoever you are, I know you're here, please leave now. And then he started screaming, leave now, leave now, leave now. And it was two women that were sitting in the front that walked away. They were there to interrupt the healing mass and to do whatever they were trying to do. I don't know what they were trying to do.
Damn.
Yeah, but it actually did happen. That was for real. And por eso te digo, like, allá en México mucha gente sí hace brujería y hace todo eso. Por obvio vas a tener miedo de todos estos cuentos. ¿Qué tal si de verdad sí es
like
verdad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, not sure.
Damn. That'd be scary, like just being in mass and everything, and then having the priest like scream like get out, get out, get out.
Yeah, imagínate.
Because priests are usually like calm and like
No, sometimes si te regañan.
Well, in that aspect, yeah, but like cuando hacen like misa or like prayers, they don't like usually. Like,
no te asustan
no
así.
te asustan así,
Yeah. Yeah, but it's so crazy. I just can't. Cuando estaba creciendo y escuchando esas historias, I was like, no, I don't want to hear this no more. But it was pretty interesting. Anyways, and that's the end of the episode. But ahorita que me estoy acordando, I definitely want to tell you this other story that it was so crazy because it came out in the newspaper.
What is it?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you're gonna have to wait until next episode.
No.
Oh my god, wow. It was so crazy.
Dun, dun. Leave us
and this time I do have ¿cómo se llaman los nombres de los lugares? Because I'm sorry I can't give you guys like the actual names porque pues no los tengo, because te digo some of the stories are just a mixture of many things, so no puedo decirte la origen de donde salieron. But definitely this story that I'm gonna be telling you, I have to tell you everything, y dónde pasó, y cómo pasó, cuántas personas, everything. So you're gonna have to wait until next episode.
I'm excited. Yeah, you guys better stay tuned to hear.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy our conversations. Honestly, I am so happy that Freddy decided to join me porque I feel more comfortable saying these stories to you guys. Sometimes for a moment se siente uno solito and like sometimes you get
scared of yourself,
like,
telling the stories.
Yeah, pero yeah, so thank you so much for joining us this time around. I definitely have a lot more for you guys, so stay tuned. Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like this video so that, we could keep bringing you these stories and, have Freddy with us all the time.
Yeah, and if you guys have you guys' own stories or like events that kind of like spooked you out or happened to you, like feel free to either comment it on the comments down below or send us an email.
Yeah,
and we could probably read your story on this podcast.
Definitely, I'm so excited to read more stories and to hear about you guys' experiences, si los tienen, or just ask your abuelitos. I'm pretty sure they also have stories, And yeah, so I'll leave the email in the bio, and we hope to hear from you if you have any stories.
Yeah, we might even do an episode just reading all your guys' stories.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
Yeah, so make sure to leave your guys' experiences as well, and we're always excited to read about them.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.